After those long dark nights, now my world is bright. Islam is my sight. Now my world.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the Straight Path. I'm your host, Fuad Muhammad. Well, I'm privileged again to have with us Sheikh Yusuf Estes, all the way from America.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, and his very good friend and brother in Islam, Muhammad Abdur Rahman. And as well, not strange to the viewers, Brother Abdur Rahman Hans Nelson, as well as Brother Abdullah Pereira. Welcome to the show. How are you guys all doing today?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, my brothers were expressing their feelings of when they accepted the Shahada.
Allah.
That moment he stood in front of Brother Muhammad.
For those that were born into Islam, it's different, I think. But for those who have been through so many years of looking and searching, the confusion, what am I after, what is it all about, why, how, people contemplating suicide, drugs, alcohol, sex, all the things they get into, looking, searching, what is it I'm looking for? And then suddenly when it's real and you're in Islam and you realize that sometimes it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. If I can just digress a moment to tell you what happened once. After I became a chaplain and I was working in the prisons, there was one gentleman who wanted to know about Islam, and he listened, read, studied, and finally he decided, he's an inmate, prisoner, he decided he'd like to be a Muslim. Now this is a big man, he was almost a giant, okay? When he accepted Islam, he started crying like a baby. SubhanAllah. The tears were rolling down his face, and he was trembling and shaking like this. And wallah, he was at a position, if you would have told him, sit down, he would have said, yes, like this. If you would have told him, stand up, okay. Because his heart became so soft. It was just like the word you kept saying, fitra. Yeah. For the benefit of the viewers who don't know what's fitra, it means the natural state, the way you, like when you're born on the fitra of Islam, right. You're born as the natural way of orient submission to God's will. This is more or less God's will. This is, you're born into God's will. This is Islam. So subhanAllah, it has, and on me, now to come to this point, you remember what happened that night? The priest accepted Islam.
Yeah. It was
and you brought him home.
Peter, yeah.
Yeah, Father Peter Jacobs. And then I wanted to take our cameras out. I used to have a TV show. Okay. And I brought our cameras out, set up everything. I was going to interview him. By the time I set it up, did the lights and the microphone and everything, you know how long it takes in his business. He fell asleep. So I tore it all back down and went upstairs. I'm talking to my wife and I'm telling her, Islam. I was very excited. I was thinking, this is amazing. Catholic priest became a Muslim. This is a good one, And she said, I want a divorce. And I remember being so shocked. But why? What you need a divorce? What happened? She said, this talk about Islam, Muslims, everything, and a Muslim can't be married to a Christian. I want a divorce. And I went, wait a minute. I didn't say that I want to be a Muslim. I never said that. And even if I did, and I swear I don't want to be a Muslim, but even if I did, it would be okay, because what he told us was that a Muslim woman couldn't be married to a Christian man. So even if I accept Islam, it's okay because you're still a Christian, I'll be a Muslim, if I want, but I don't want to. She said, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I want to be a Muslim. Now I was stuck. And that's when I started saying, well, backtrack. Okay. The good news is, actually, in reality, I was afraid to tell you this, I too wish to be a Muslim. Problem solved. She said, no. She said, you're a liar. I said, no, I'm telling the truth. She said, either you're a liar right now or a liar a minute ago when you said you didn't want to be a Muslim. Either way, you're a liar, now get out. I was leaving. I grabbed some clothes, I'm leaving, going out. And I said, wait a minute, I'm being thrown out of my own father's house. How did that happen? That's when I went down and woke you up.
Oh, that moment was happening.
That's what was going on.
Were
you confused when he woke you up?
Yeah,
well, he didn't understand, because what I said is, you and me got to go outside.
When wives and husbands fight, so I thought that this is what's happening upstairs then, but not over there, because for any other reason.
This was the subject. And when I woke you up, I told him, I said, you and me got to step outside. I want to talk to him, But I didn't want to wake everybody up. I said, we got to step outside. He looked at me like, because in Texas, when you say we won't step outside, that means some business, you know. This man, by the way, he has a degree in karate, chop chop.
Yes, that's right. Brown belt.
Brown belt?
Mm.
Well, I got a, no belt. Even I'm not wearing a belt today on my back. But anyway.
Just turned white now, don't worry.
Anyhow, so here we are, and I'm walking around with him, and we're talking all night long. No, we're not. Get it straight. I was talking all night long. He was listening. Until the sun started coming up.
Excited, yeah.
Oh, I was going crazy. I had just so much going on in my head all at once. And I was thinking, how can I get a resolution on so many of these things? Then, when the sun started to come up a little bit, I told him, you got to go pray your morning prayers. He said something like this, that it's not between you and me anymore anyway. Yeah. It's not between you and your wife, you and your father. This is something between you and the Lord. You need to go talk to him.
The moment of birth.
And you know what happened?
Yeah.
I never forget this. I said, man, this guy, he's not trying to sell anything. I really felt like the salesman just walked away and left me standing with the product, and I didn't buy yet. Mm-hmm. I wanted somebody to close the deal, Tell me I need to accept Islam. Tell me the benefits. Instead, he just said, it's between you and your Lord, and he walked off. And I thought, what should I do? What can I do? And I went out back behind, you remember where the semi-trailer was? Yeah. I went back there, and I had a piece of plywood that I put down.
I remember.
And I tried to figure out, he aims his prayers toward this direction, whatever it is. And in that direction, I didn't know how to do salah or anything. I just put my head straight down on the ground. I did sajda. Dropped down on sajda.
And you knew this all the way?
Straight sajda.
You knew he was doing this all the way?
No, he didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I
was already inside. I didn't see him making that sajda. He was doing it outside.
You're all by yourself.
I hope so. But I really was believing that if there's a God, he should be able to hear me. If there is a God, he should hear me. So I put my head down on the ground, and in my heart, real loud in my heart, I was saying these words, oh God, if you can hear me, if you're there, guide me. That's all I said. And I did not know Ihdina Sirat al-Mustaqim. I didn't understand the concept of asking for hidayah. But what happened? When I raised up my head, I'm not joking, I raised up my head, and I did not see rainbows and colored lights and flowers and dancing angels and music playing and harps and all. No. You know what I saw? A cloudy day in Texas. That's it. But inside, I could see a human being who really needs to be in submission to God. And that means Islam. Submission to God. Doing His will. And well, that's what I went back in the house and I told him I'm ready. I went upstairs, made a shower, came back down. Yeah. And you and Father Peter Jacobs, who is now Brother Yahya. He took the name Yahya, like John the Baptist.
Yeah, Baptist, yeah.
And Yahya and Muhammad now are witnessing me saying, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
Yeah, but what was the feeling in saying those words?
Coming to that. Coming. I still was not totally aware of what was about to happen. My wife came down next. She also had made a shower. She also had now had on the scarf. She put on the hijab, the scarf. Came down, and then she made shahada. Still didn't quite hit me yet. But then, about the time, it was, I guess, Dhuhr.
Yeah, close to.
All of a sudden, it just started snapping in my head. And I remember turning to you and asking you, well, what about all the rest of these people? And right when I ask you about my dad, what's going to happen to him? Will he go to hell if he doesn't accept Islam?
Yeah.
That was the moment that I realized what I had done, where I was, what was really going on. And it is like so real. Because there's no more, fabrication anymore. A Muslim, one of the biggest things about a Muslim is that you cannot lie. You have to always tell the truth.
Yep.
Everything is reality in front of you all the time. That is Islam. We don't have this concept of Santa Claus, Easter bunnies, fabrications running around in your head and stories and fairies. No, we deal in reality. A good reality, a beautiful reality, But it's a reality, something that you can count on. And when that started really setting in, that's when I felt like a little boy, just starting all over again. I felt very, you know, that's when it hit me. Yeah, I guess that's sort of like in your case, brother.
Yeah.
It took some time for it to hit you.
To digest it.
Yeah. But I wanted to say that ask exactly the same question. When I felt that I was lost, I look up in the sky and say, if you're there, guide me.
You said the same words?
Yeah, exactly the same word.
SubhanAllah.
And
but you're in France.
Yeah. But it's the
and
same
I was
God.
in Texas.
Well,
It's the same God, and it's the same fitrah as well. So, and in when I argue sometimes with non-Muslims, I don't like to go deeply into details and arguings about this and that. I know they are confused, and that's why I invite them to call Allah or to call God or whatever they call Him.
And you speak French?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the name of God in French language?
Dieu.
Dieu.
Yeah.
Okay. And they believe, they're Christians, most of them. So they believe in the Bible. The Bible says the first man was created from dirt, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What did they call the name of the first man?
Adam.
Adam. I know it. Did you know what? I did a little search. This is off the subject maybe. I did a little search one time to find out what all of the different languages, what is the name of the first man? The one made from dirt.
Yeah.
The one made from, you know, by himself, and then a woman made from his rib bone. What is the name of this man? What's his name? And every one of them, it's Adam, 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 Adam. Mexican language, Spanish, Adam. French, Adam. And then even in the Russian language, Adan, like Adan, with an N instead of the meme, I guess. But subhanAllah, when you ask them, what's the name of God? Oh, you've got you've got Dios, you've got God, Yahweh. And I said, you know, it's amazing. All of us know who's our father, Adam. Yeah. We're just not sure who's our God. Is it? Does it make sense?
It makes sense.
So viewers, if you want to know how the Sheikh felt when he accepted Islam, we'll be waiting for you after the break. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to the straight path. Brother Abdur Rahman, how long did you spend with Sheikh before he became a Muslim?
Well, before he became a Muslim, it was about, as far as I remember, about 5 months.
And after becoming Muslim?
After becoming Muslim, I moved to Houston immediately because of the shipping business. And he stayed in Dallas, Texas, actually in Arlington, Texas, but we were on daily basis.
Okay.
I was calling him collect. I'm probably the one that put him out of the shipping business. I called him up, collect, and I would talk. I couldn't stop talking. Yeah. Because there were so many things in my head.
So many things, yeah.
But this was something, and I make dua for this man all the time.
I
pray for you all the time. You didn't know. 17 years praying.
I can feel it, wallahi.
Because this is the critical part of all the new Muslims when they come in. They need follow-up.
Yep.
They need somebody with them.
I wanted to ask you this, Sheikh. This is the biggest... I had a problem. One of my friends, he was a very close friend to me. Before I became Muslim, he said to me, I had 2 challenges, one before Islam, one after. Before Islam, one of my very close friends to me said, do you really want to leave the religion of your forefathers? And that really actually hit me hard. I mean, it was exactly these words. But I had a friend, a Pakistani, he was Muslim, come to me and help me get over this hurdle. But after Islam, that's really when the challenge hit. And I wanted to ask, what was your experience? How were you able to kind of make your way through all this confusion? And because
Allah tests everybody in different ways because everybody's different. But what is exactly the same is that we are all going to go through a test. Allah asks you in the Quran in Surah Ankabut, do the human beings think they're going to be left alone just because they said we believe? And they won't be put into fitna, a big test. Not just some people think, oh, a little test. You know what a test is? How much is 2 plus 2? Okay, 4, you passed the test. This is not the meaning. Here it's a kalamat. You're on the brink, you see, and you're about to go, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
Did it happen? How many times did I call you per day?
Yes, I was telling you that when we sitting together upstairs.
Another
He
Egyptian.
had a great challenge from everything around him. As if the shaitan dedicated his 24 hours for Sheikh Yusuf.
How did you help him?
Allah,
How did you help him? I mean, because for me, and I've met new Muslims, sometimes it's more difficult. Once they make that step, sometimes the real test didn't start coming. Sometimes it's easier for them to accept Islam, but then afterwards, you know, having following them.
It is afterwards. It's not before. That's exactly what happened to me. There was two people named Mutaz at our masjid.
Yes.
Both of them Syria.
Yes.
And one of them was in the business. He came out and looked at some tires and things that we had out there.
Yes,
Remember him?
remember him with the white robe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he came out to our house, and that's why he came, to tell me, you're going to be tested. Get ready for a test. And I said, we already been through it. The big test was getting to Islam, huh? Well, don't worry about it. Let's go look at tires. I was selling tires back then.
I know those tires until now.
Ooh, the test that came. You know,
it was
I don't want to talk
unspeakable.
about it. It was
unspeakable.
It was too much.
But it's good for the viewers who also have accepted Islam.
Send me an email.
Allah,
Yeah, because it's people's personal lives, and I don't like to ever damage anybody's reputation or anything like that, because it was really harsh. And I was being blamed for something I had nothing to do with.
SubhanAllah.
And I was the victim, and I was being blamed as though I was the villain.
Yeah.
What helped you through it? I mean, for me, I had to interact with my brothers. Like the brother who called me to Islam, I love that brother so much. I had to ask him a lot of questions, but then I eventually moved away from him. So I had to try to...
Exactly the same thing happened to me.
SubhanAllah.
Right as I made Shahada, within a week, I had loaded up that big semi-truck
In the valley.
and headed to the valley. I was down on the Mexican border,
Yep.
and I had all businesses, things that I was doing down there and everything. And when I came back, he had moved away to Houston.
To Houston, Texas.
Yeah, and here I am now. I've got all this stuff going on, and I'm thinking, and it was the first time in my life, and I was about 47 years old, 48 by then. Anyway, I had never been robbed in my life. Now, can you imagine that all of my property that I had, trucks, bus, a house that I rented, every one of them had been gutted, cleaned out, stolen, everything worth anything, stolen, gone. Got it? At the same time that my property 800 miles away was being robbed.
SubhanAllah.
Now, how could this be? And some Muslims, of course, the Muslims are pretty fast with conspiracy theories, you know. They said, this is the Jewish are doing this to you. The Christians are doing this to you. I'm going, get a life, you know. Thieves are doing this, man. And they said, no, because you accepted Islam. I'm going, no. But in fact, it's Allah doing it to you to do what? And let me read to you now the rest of the verse. Do the human beings think they'll be left alone on saying we believe and not be put into a great test? As we tested those before them to reveal those who are telling the truth and expose the liars in their falsehood. This is more or less plus the meaning of the verses.
It's very nice, very close to the original.
And it is true. The more that you were away from Islam, now you've come into it, and the more you want to do with Islam, the bigger this is going to be. This is why we always tell the brothers in the beginning, take it easy. Don't load yourself up. Don't overdo. You know, okay, fine, grow your beard. That's easy to do. Just don't cut it. Allah will grow it. Okay, that's not tough. And for a sister, go ahead, put a scarf on. But as far as, okay, I have to measure how high my pants have to be. I have to check, and I have to have a miswak in my pocket, and I have to have a Quran under my arm, and I got to have a certain move, and I'm on the minhaj, on the... No. Because when I got into Islam, they gave me this white robe thing that I had, you know, and I was out here with this and this, you know, and then, but I remember what I said about you when I met you. I said, he's normal. That was my words. I said, this man is normal. And I relaxed. No, nice big beard wouldn't bother me a bit. In fact, nobody has a beard bigger than my dad had. And he wasn't a Muslim at all. How big was his beard?
Huge one, like this.
Yep.
And he was not a Muslim.
Yep.
Even the man working with him had the same size.
Don't tell anybody.
See what that's a cult or
What advice did he give you? Because you have a lot of this enthusiasm, and it goes to extremes.
Yes, it is.
How do you shape this? How do you direct it in a positive way?
Well, of course, you can't control other people's thinking in their lives. That's what Islam is teaching us. If anybody accepts Islam, this is coming from their own heart, to surrender their heart to Allah, not to you. But at the same time, when they come in, you give them the encouragement. Now, he gave me the proper words, the proper encouragement, but I'm a bullhead, I'm from Texas, and it takes a little, have to be patient with it. He's super patient.
They're known amongst Americans.
But here's what he was telling me. There's an expression, I think, in Arabic. You said, wada bi wada, one by one, step by step.
Wahda.
Wahda.
Means step by step.
Step by one by one.
Don't take Islam like that.
Yes. Okay. We're just running out of time. Just one last question to you,
You're out of time?
Abdur Rahman.
Oh, sorry, sir.
I mean, seeing Sheikh who he is today, 17 years ago after accepting Islam.
I'm only 17 years old, by the way.
Well, she didn't understand.
Well, I have one to beat that Sheikh.
Yeah, I see.
Hans Abdur Rahman as well is 5 years old, as well as Abdullah is 5 years old.
5 years old? How old are you?
I wouldn't want to say that.
I got him in front of 200 million people.
Okay,
What's that?
17 years back to who Sheikh is today.
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel?
Well, I feel that do not exclude any degree of ikram from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to anybody. This man whom I have seen before all these years now is such a da'iyah.
Never had that thought before.
Out of imagination, man. Not only of me, but even for anybody who attended those moments and was very happy that the American family converted to Islam, but that's another subject. Now where he is now, alhamdulillah, and I don't want to talk too much about that in front of you, but he is achieving a lot for the world. Yeah, this is what I say. Don't restrict the karam that Allah Kareem. To what extent you don't know. It can go to the...
Don't say it in front of me. Yeah. Let him wrap up his show. Okay. Don't forget the website, though. ShareIslam.com. Now go wrap up your show.
Okay, thank you very much. And the message to the viewers, never underestimate the person who you're giving da'wah to. And that wraps it up for today's show, The Straight Path. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
After those long dark nights, now my world is bright. Islam is my sight. Now I found the light.